Hi, I am Tina. I'm an injury attorney from Florida, and I wanted to talk to you about I'm going to give you 5 reasons that I think you should stay off of roads and sidewalks when you're exercising, including running, biking, walking, or anything like that. And since you need it, and I am a huge proponent of all of those things, so I think you should use the alternative of trying to find a trail near you. So, the 5 reasons that I think you should stay off of roads and highways are, number 1, the surfaces. The surfaces of roads and sidewalks. Roads are obviously made of asphalt usually, and sometimes cement, and sidewalks are very often, unfortunately, cement. I wish developers, city planners, and trail planners, sidewalk planners would use asphalt more or gravel or something completely different for sidewalks, but they don't. Cement is 10 times harder than asphalt, so sidewalks are horrible for your joints. And if you're a younger runner, you may not be as concerned about that, but I can tell you as an aging runner, as you continue with running, the miles start to add up, and it really does matter what type of surface you're running on over time. So I definitely would avoid cement. Now, asphalt is decent. Some trails are asphalt, and some obviously roads are asphalt, so they're equal in that respect. So that's just really a sidewalk thing. But there are plenty of trails that are dirt, and those are the best. So right now I'm actually about to run on a dirt road, and I came here from an asphalt trail. You can see right there. I came to the asphalt trail on my bike, and I'm going to run on the dirt road, and I have a loop in this little town that I'm going to do, and I do that specifically because of my joints. So the best is dirt, but still asphalt is an asphalt trail would be much better than a cement sidewalk. So in order of preference, it goes, you want to totally avoid cement. Asphalt is definitely better, but then the best would be some sort of soft surface. That's not always possible. I've done a lot of running on asphalt, but the ideal would be dirt. And I try to, especially if right now I'm coming back from being sick for 3 weeks, and my joints aren't prepared for 8 miles on asphalt. So that's one of the main reasons I'm coming over here very intentionally wanting to run on this dirt road. So that's number 1. The second reason that you should avoid roads is because of pollution. Pollution, there are some studies, I read one a few years back, it's really bad. Those who are running and biking on roads are exposing themselves to a crazy amount of pollution from road, mufflers and things like that, exhausts. And so you really want to try to avoid that. I mean, it was bad. I'm not a scientist, I'm a lawyer, but the summary of it was in some sort of scientific article, Scientific America or something, and it was many pages long, where a scientist had measured the pollution level on roadways. And I'll tell you, it actually made me start avoiding as much as possible. I avoid running through, even when my trail goes through little towns, and I still run on that, but my regular routes, I will try to turn around before I reach that part. So obviously, if you're on a road, running or biking or walking, you're going to be exposed to much more pollution. The third reason would be social. On the trails, we meet, my husband and I both are runners and bikers, and we have been for many years, and you meet a lot of people who that's what they're doing on the trail. In fact, my husband and I met on a trail. That's the first day we met, was on a trail, and he proposed to me on a trail, which was pretty cool. So you definitely, there's social there, and we see lots of other people out and about on the trails, and you stop to get drinks, and there are little cubbies, little trail stations where you can meet and talk to other people who are exercising, and that's motivational. So you don't get that if you're on a road. And so that social would be the third. And then I'm trying to remember the fourth, which is really important to me. I am a personal injury attorney here in Orlando, Florida. And I just got to tell you that distracted driving is terrifying. Distracted driving is as bad or worse than, let me turn around here real quick. Distracted driving is as bad or worse as drunk driving ever was. It is so bad. You even have semi-truck drivers who, and not to say anything bad about semi-truck drivers because they have a job to do, but they're driving a powerful vehicle. And there are semi-truck drivers who use laptops and watch television shows and movies, and there have been some fatal accidents where the semi-truck driver was watching. I think I remembered one where he was watching a television show, and I watched the video footage where he actually crashed into some people. And again, not to disparage semi-truck drivers because they deal with a lot of really bad drivers on the road themselves, but not just semi-drivers, but so many people are on their phones, they're texting, and they're not watching what they're doing. There are some great YouTube videos by AT&T I encourage you to watch. If you are running or cycling or walking on regular roadways, you need to watch those AT&T videos. And there's a lot of other information out there, but it's just terrifying. So if you're just trusting, if you're running along and you are trusting that a car is just going to stay in its path and avoid you, that might have been okay before smartphones and tablets and laptops hit. It was still more dangerous, but these days, there is no way. You are taking, in my opinion, a huge risk. And I feel bad for cyclists because I know a lot of cyclists. I'm more of a runner. I do ride my bike. But I know cyclists get into clubs and groups, and I understand the passion of wanting to get in groups, and they go on the roads and they feel entitled to be on the roadways too. And I feel they absolutely are and should be. I am a huge cycling proponent. I love cyclists. But the reality of the risk is, there are people who don't care about your life. They care more about their phone, or they just don't understand the risk. And so I really believe trails are the way to go. And in fact, my husband and I intentionally purchased a home here, and we moved to Georgia for a little while. And the number one thing for us when looking for a home was, is it near a trail? Unfortunately, we couldn't find one near a trail, and that was part of the reason we ended up moving back to Florida. We now live about a mile away from a trail that we use all the time, and we've used for many years. So and that's the reason. It's super important. So I had, hang on just a second. All right, last one is number 5 would be scenic. Of course you can get some scenic roadways, definitely. I've been on some great roadways, but most of them aren't as nearly as scenic as you're gonna find on trails. So I would just encourage you to research all of the trails in your area. If you like any type of exercise, if you like walking, hiking, running, biking, or whatever it is you love to do, research all of the trails, the state parks and everything in your area. And if there aren't any, we moved over it. We literally moved over the lack of trails. But another thing you could do, and I think it's worth that, because the trail will draw you to the activity and make you the more convenient it is, the more likely you are to do it. And also, another thing is, my husband and I were talking about this before I went on, we would encourage you to become politically involved or go to meetings, encourage your city government, county governments to create trails and roadways and bikeways so that we can use them as all of us stay healthy. So anyway, those are my tips for the day. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.